How I got Tonka was, I don't want to cry. My legend passed away. He was 12 years old. When he died. I had him as a puppy. I raised him. I loved him. He loved me. And he passed away. And as a little girl, I know I told you guys before, I was in an orphanage for a while. And I was passed back and forth between my parents as they fought and argued over child support. And I never felt really loved. I know we all go through things in our lives, and I'm not complaining because it made me who I am today. And I'm okay with who I am today. I like me. So that's not too bad. But as a little girl when I was in the orphanage, I had a dog. And he was the only thing that loved me, ever. Nothing else made me feel loved by him. And so I've always been drawn to dogs. So when Legend passed away, as much as it killed me, and it still does, I knew that I couldn't be without that unconditional love that he gave me. Because people can't give you that love. At least none that I've ever met. There's always conditions. So I went looking for Tonka about a month after Legend passed away. It was a horrible month. And I came across a picture online. I did the same thing when I went looking for Monroe. I came across a picture online of this adorable black and white Malamute. I'd always thought about having a black and white Malamute with a mask. And I saw a picture of this adorable puppy. And I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta have him. And again, I told my husband, as I'm getting an Alaskan Malamute puppy. And he's like, no, you're not. And I'm like, yes, I am. And I emailed the lady, and she told me that he wasn't available, that he had already been adopted. I was like so bummed. And so I just continued my search. And I finally found a breeder that was in Florida. And I contacted her. And I gave her a deposit on a puppy. She had 2 females that were pregnant. So I gave her a deposit on a puppy. And for some reason, I don't even know why. Well, I guess the Lord, I don't know, was speaking to me. I don't know. I just started searching on Craigslist for Alaskan Malamute puppies. Probably had something to do with my impatience, because I'm not a patient person. And I came across this puppy who he just looked so sad. He was on a chain. He was a black and white, obviously, is Tonka puppy, what I had wanted before. And we live in Florida. It was July. He was on a chain, and I was like, oh my gosh, he looked thin. I just felt a pull towards him. So I contacted the people, and I set it up to meet them the next day out in Ocala. So my husband and I drove out to meet him. And he took Tonka out, and I looked at Tonka and I was like, oh my word, this puppy's got some big ears. He has some big ears. And I was like, and look at him. I could tell that he was eaten up with worms. He was full of worms. And I don't know, he pulled at my heart. And I knew that I was not going to let him go back to this person. And so I brought him home with me. And I didn't notice his tail until after I was home. I was taking pictures of him, I think, out in the backyard, maybe the next day or something. And I was looking at his tail and I saw this little hump and I was like, what is that? That's not normal. And so then I felt it, and then I could feel where it had been broken. And I was like, my gosh, this poor baby. And I noticed that he was iffy with my son and my husband. He was kind of like scared, and he flinched a lot. So I knew that he had been through some stuff. And I was just, I don't know, I was heartbroken for him, you know? And I looked at the paperwork that the guy had given me. It was just a copy of a paper. And I contacted the breeder. And when I went to email the breeder, I realized that I had emailed this breeder before. And I was shocked. That first puppy that I wanted and that had been already sold and was not available was Tonka. And you could have just, I was shocked. I was like, wow. I started crying. And I said, well, I guess the Lord meant for me to have you. You were meant to be mine, and I was meant to be yours. And I feel that way 100%. And for a long time, I struggled with guilt. I'm sure that some of you guys will understand that. I struggled with guilt because in order to get Tonka, Legend had to pass away. And I love Legend, and I would have loved to have him back. I didn't want him to be gone. I still don't want him to be gone. I still want him back. And then I love Tonka, and I don't want Tonka to be gone. And so I struggle with guilt with that, you know. Tonka and I have an amazing bond. I feel it, you know. Legend and I were super close. I love Legend. No one can ever take his place. And somebody said one time that the Lord gives you a different dog for a different time in your life, so you get what you need. And Tonka is the perfect dog for this time in my life. I'm an empty nester. My children are all gone. I've got grandchildren. And I was born to be a mom. That's me. It's who I am. I love to mother people. I do. And Tonka allows me to be a mom to him. He allows me to mother him. My other kids will say, no, mom, no, mom, no, mom. And Tonka's like, okay. So Tonka's been perfect for this time in my life. He's helped to heal my heart a lot. And I wouldn't trade him. If somebody came and offered me millions of dollars for him, I would say no. Legitimately, I would not let him go anywhere at all. No, there's no money in the world that could replace him. Not at all. So I look forward to the rest of our life together. We've had 3 years together so far. And I get sad every time a year passes because I know it's a year closer to him not being in my life. And I don't know how I will deal with that. I do plan on having his baby, a boy, someday. So that I will always have a piece of him with me. That was the one thing that I regretted about Legend, was that I didn't have a part of him to go on, to keep. And I won't make that mistake again. I do try to learn from my mistakes, and so that won't happen again. So someday I'll have his baby. And when he's not here, I'll be comforted to know that his baby is. And this is way too long of a video. So I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know. Tonka, come here. Come here. Hey. Come here. Tonka. Come here. Hey. Mama loves you. Come here. He says, Mom, there's something moving in the bushes. I love him. He's my boy. He's my furry baby boy. I love you. So, Tonka's gonna say, see you later, alligators. And after a while, crocodiles. And I'm gonna say, be blessed. Be super duper blessed. I am. And really appreciate you watching this video. If you made it through the whole thing, God bless you. I'm sorry it took so long. This will have to be the first installment of my question and answers, I think. This could be a series itself, because I talk a lot. So, but seriously, thank you for supporting us by joining our YouTube family. Thank you for being super amazing aunts and uncles and cousins. We love you, and you make a difference in my life too. And Tonka did that. Tonka brought me friends from all over the world. I think it's super cool. And you guys have friends in Florida. So I love you guys. And I hope you're super duper blessed. Later.